We move on next here tonight to the very latest developments of the Cuban crisis. The government there announcing today it is now lifting restrictions on food, medicine, and hygiene. That announcement coming just 3 days after those mass protests erupted across the island nation, driven in part by chronic shortages in stores. Cuba's president calling the protesters criminals, but he also said the government needs to do more outreach and improve conditions in poor neighborhoods that were rocked by the protests. And as we've been telling you, Cuban Americans here in Florida have also been protesting the country's communist regime for several nights now. Here in Tampa, protesters have been gathering along Dale Mabry, also in Ybor City. Tampa has the third largest Cuban population in the United States. And meanwhile, 2 of the 3 men arrested in connection with Tuesday's protests in Tampa, they had their first court appearance this morning. Julian Rodriguez and Mikel Vasquez, they were being held at no bond in accordance with Florida's new anti-riot law, which requires anyone arrested on unlawful assembly charges to be held without bail until first appearance. The men are accused of injuring a law enforcement officer during the protest. They both deny doing that. And taking the story in depth here tonight, ABC Action News reporter Anthony Hill spent some time today with Cuban Americans who are hoping to have their voices heard. And here is their message tonight in their own words.
Life in Cuba is very hectic for all Cubans. There's hunger, there's misery, there's an economic crisis. The salaries aren't enough to buy food.
What's happening in Cuba is what has had to happen for a long time. I'm really proud of my people and that they're in the streets fighting for their rights to be free.
And I was 14 years old. I wanted to come into the United States because I see something wrong over there with the system.
I have family in Cuba. I have a son who was 11 months when I left him. He's 3 years old now, and he practically doesn't even know me. I have a daughter who's 9 years old, and another daughter who's 21, who's pregnant right now. That's why I came here, for them, to fight for them and for a better future.
Cuba is not yours. Cuba belongs to the people.
No tiene los derechos de...
You don't have freedom of speech. There's no liberty. That's why Cubans are fighting right now. Simply, I'm proud of my people, and I'm proud to be in this country.
I like baseball. I used to practice baseball in Cuba. And I enjoy my arm. Because I don't like the Castro system, I like my freedom. If I stay there, I was gonna die like those birds that you can be in the cage.
I have all of my family in Cuba.
So every day I miss them.
In their own words tonight. And meanwhile, Cuban authorities are blaming U.S. sanctions for its struggling economy. President Donald Trump imposed more than 200 measures against the island in the 4 years of his presidency, enacting some of the toughest economic restrictions against Cuba in decades. And so far, it would appear the Biden administration seems reluctant to lift those restrictions. The Cuban economy, though, has been hit hard as tourism and good imports have dropped steeply during the ongoing pandemic.